Hello there. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that little interview yesterday on that show last night. I thought it was pretty cool. Thought it was kick ass. Got somebody brand new. I'm not here to tell you that the Swedish Foundation is something for you guys. I'm not. But it's always interesting to hear about these kind of places because, we all judge things compared to Scientology kind of stuff, Scientology, any kind of stuff like that. So, hearing the Curtis Childs last night on his point of view of what their beliefs are and all that, I take away from the person. He sounds like a good guy. He sounds like a fantastic person. And, I'm not going to run out and, sign up for any kind of a, foundation or any kind of a church thing. But it's good to hear what they're about, what they represent. Maybe one day I'll check it out for fun. Check it out some more, dig into it. Because I never heard of this foundation until he reached out to me. So if you haven't seen that show last night, please do. Big Fernand's going to be joining us in a second. He's got a customer that got a couple customers. I was listening to them. They're buying some PlayStation 3. Oh, let me take his mute off. Oh.
Yeah, I had to help out some customers. Oh, and I know the sound's going to be messed up.
That's all right.
Yeah, they could. If they knew how much we adjusted, they'd get over it too.
So if you guys haven't seen the interview last night, check it out. I mean, it's an interesting foundation. Not telling you to run out to sign up for it, but the guy was good. He was cool. He told us about everything about it. Told us about how the father of this, according to him, he have spoken to aliens or almost like humans like and stuff. So it was all good stuff. It was all fun. So check it out from last night. Well, guys, we know why we're all here. We want to see what the next cryptids that I have up. And, I got some Greek mythology here coming up. I got some, cryptids that I'm not really familiar with. So I'm like you guys, I'm learning myself. Now, of course, there's probably a 90% chance that Karna knows these cryptids. We're going to find out. But hey, we'll get right into it. Man, I see a lot of great people already in the chat. I see Suzanne. I see Myflock, Second Star. I see Hobbs. I see Adina P. Andy Gabino, our green little alien guy, our British alien. I see Jeanette, Paranormal Pixie, PDX. I don't know if I think I've seen you before. I'm positive that I have, and if I apologize if it sounds like I don't recognize you. I know I do, but welcome. Danny, welcome. So beyond that, guys, the first cryptid I want to show you guys.
I'm surprised Danny's in here this early. I just saw he was up late last night.
I think a lot of us were up late, extra late last night. I'm not gonna get into the late stuff, but last night was interesting altogether. But Connor, have you ever heard of Alp, the nightmare creature?
I am not entirely sure. I don't think so, not directly, but maybe one of the offshoot cousins or descendants I might have heard, but I'm all ears.
All right. Actually, once you see the video, you probably you might recognize it. Oh, Boat Gun just showed up. Pipa H, welcome. So let's check out Alp, the nightmare creature.
Welcome to Mythos and Monstra, where we talk about mythology and monsters from around the world. Hi, I'm Tyler, and today we're going to be talking about Alp, or Alpen if you find them in multiples. Alp are supernatural beings from the Germanic folklore who control its victims' dreams, creating terrifying nightmares. They tend to be male and are considered to be similar to vampires in some ways due to them drinking blood from the nipples of men and children. However, its victims typically tend to be female because it prefers the taste of breast milk. It attacks its victims by sitting on their chest while creating a nightmare, until their victim's chest becomes so heavy the crushing weight awakens them terrified and breathless. This may have been an early explanation of sleep paralysis as well as night terrors. All Alp wear a magical hat called Tarnkappe, which gives them their powers. While wearing the hat, they can turn invisible, fly like a bird, and have the ability to shapeshift into such things as cats, dogs, snakes, or even a small butterfly. The Tarnkappe will always appear no matter what form the Alp takes. So if they shapeshift into a dog, the hat would still appear on its head. An Alp also possesses the ability to ride a horse, unlike other magical creatures. They also have an evil eye, which is said to inflict illness and misfortune. It's also believed that if you can remove or damage this eye, it will remove the Alp's malicious intentions.
Remove his eyes. People.
There are many ways an Alp can come to be. They are mostly considered to be demons in many cases, but in some instances, an Alp can be created from spirits of recently deceased relatives.
Oh.
They can also come to be if a woman who is pregnant is scared by an animal, or if she bites a horse's collar during a difficult and tortuous childbirth.
Why would you be biting a horse?
If a child is born with a caul, which is the amniotic membrane enclosing the fetus, or hair on its palms, it could also become an Alp. Stillborn infants are also suspects to return from their graves as Alps who will afflict their family. There are ways to protect against Alpen. Firstly, steel and crosses can be used. You could also lay a broomstick under your pillow, hang iron horseshoes from the bedpost, place shoes against the bed with toes pointing towards the door, or even place a mirror on a chest. A light constantly kept on during the night will ward off an Alp. If awoken by an Alp and finding it still there, one could address the Alp by asking it to return in the morning to borrow something or to have coffee. The Alp will then leave and will return in the morning in its true form or as a human whose eyebrows are touching. People who have eyebrows that meet, like a unibrow, are suspected of being an Alp. Once the creature returns in the morning, you can then convince it to leave the victim alone.
Can I see your eyebrows?
I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any other...
Man, I don't know. This Alp thing sounds like it'd be a kick-ass movie, right? I mean, it's like a skinwalker, shapeshifter. But, you know, hearing about the pregnancy, if the woman giving birth bites, I mean, what would a horse be next to a pregnant woman in the first place giving birth? But I mean, maybe they're cutting the hair off the horse and boiling it to sew. But
maybe.
Wow.
It's definitely fascinating, though. Right away, it brought me to, sleep paralysis, how there's little elves or little demons that will sit right on your chest, just like how they were, and it got so heavy, and all those images were right on that. But this thing can ride horses and has other secret powers, so that was super fascinating. And the fact that a woman could get scared by an animal, and then it creates a traumatic event or energy that can create this thing, and then the eyebrows that meet, that's in my book, man. Beware of the one with the eyebrows that meet. That's what they say about werewolves and Bigfoot children too. So it all connects to this. So cool, so rad. Definitely better beware when we go over to a German beer festival and we're in a deep slumber. We might have the leprechaun Nazi on our chest.
And this is what Matt says. In Germanic and Mongolian myths, most women give birth on a horse. It's to give supernatural powers to their child. And also, they created a huge sexual action on horse. Oh, okay.
Fascinating. Thank you, Matt. That's great information.
That is fascinating. I've never heard of that. And that's the first time I heard of something like that. Now I got something to look up. Have people been known to give birth on horses? And it's
I know back in the day they would do it with dolphins in pools and in shallow water, and then the baby would come out super easy. It was like a perfect process. So definitely laying on, the bed at the hospital, probably not the best way. You're supposed to do it just like you're dropping a deuce. That's how you're supposed to drop a baby out. So just squat down and push.
Well, I've heard of water births, and I get, dolphins, the mystical, because dolphins are smart. They don't attack you unless they feel threatened by you. So I can see that with dolphins. I'm just thinking, if you're to give birth on a horse, do you gotta sit on a horse? Do you gotta like scrap over on a horse? You know what I mean? I mean, I don't want to type in how those women look like giving birth on a horse, and I'll probably get some pictures I'm not supposed to show. But I'm interested on what position are they in to give birth on a horse? It
kicks back. Oh, it's just natural, and your baby just sprays out. I don't know, man. We will see. Hopefully, I'll have quintuplets on the back of the 4 horsemen.
Now, this one is a Greek Roman mythology, the myth of the Chimera. So this is the Chimera.
Yeah. The Chimera. In Greek mythology, the Chimera is a monster with the body and head of a lion, a snake for a tail, and a fire-breathing goat head protruding from its back. The appearance of the Chimera can vary. There are versions where it has the hind legs of a goat, with wings and even the head of a dragon. Sibling to the Hydra and Cerberus, much like many of the other monsters in Greek mythology, the Chimera is the daughter of Typhon and Echidna. The mere sight of the Chimera was considered a bad omen, as the monster would often appear before natural disasters, such as violent storms and volcanic eruptions. The Chimera took residence in Lycia, and for many years terrorized the neighboring towns and villages. In fear for his kingdom, King Lobatus turned to Bellerophon, the son of Poseidon, to aid him in destroying the beast. Once he accepted the cause of his king, Bellerophon consulted with the soothsayer Polyidus, who advised him to seek help from the winged horse, Pegasus. In order to do this, Bellerophon would have to spend the night in the temple of Minerva. As he slept, Minerva came to him and gave him a golden bridle. When he awoke, Minerva took him to Pegasus, and at the sight of the golden bridle, the steed came willingly to aid him. Bellerophon mounted Pegasus, and they took to the skies in search for the Chimera. Flying above the Chimera, Bellerophon was able to rain down arrows upon the creature. His efforts were in vain, as the Chimera was able to melt his arrowheads before they made any contact. The Chimera began to overpower Bellerophon and his steed with the sheer power of its fiery breath. Bellerophon had the idea of attaching a lump of lead to the point of his spear and thrusting it in between the jaws of the Chimera. The creature's fiery breath melted the lead, which trickled down its throat, burning its insides, instantly killing the beast. Many believe that the Chimera is a symbol of the volcano located in Lycia. The surrounding area was known for its constant burning fires, hence the name Mount Chimera. If you've enjoyed this video, then please consider leaving a thumbs up, as it helps promote the video.
Before we talk about it, I do want to say welcome, Brandy, for coming to the show. She wrote, Recon Havoc 215. Thanks for telling me about the show. I like it. Well, welcome. You're all welcome. And actually, Recon Havoc 215 sent me an email and stuff. He's got some pretty interesting paranormal videos and stuff, and we're going to work out a time where he could come on and sometime next week where we get into the paranormal section. He's got some videos himself, and he could tell us about it and all that. So, Brandy, welcome, and Reckon Big. I appreciate you letting people know about the channel. That's awesome. That's great. And my flock, this is for you. If I could find it, I know I could find it. I'm a slacker. Here it is. All right. So you heard of it. So I heard you say you knew the name exactly. So that's a scary son of a bitch, man. A lion and a tail with the face on it. I mean, my
Yeah,
God, it's almost like that one creature with the hand.
I'm very familiar with the Chimera, but not that story of it. That sounds like the original Chimera story, and that combination of creatures was truly magical. And sleeping at the certain temple and being brought to life, that's very magical. I love that story. Chimeras, in the new term, are just half hybrid, half human creatures, or maybe half and half hybrids, because these governments and these agencies are creating these chimera creatures. They say that some of these dogman werewolves are half man, half beast, made in a lab, and that's what always was the chimera vibe for at least this new era of cryptozoology. So the fact that the chimera was an actual certain type of entity, very, very cool. So that blew my mind, because I thought the chimera was just any type of hybrid, where that one had some purpose and some sense behind it. It was very cool.
We all learn, we all learn stuff, and Connor, here's a good question. I think you're probably the best one for this question, because Brandy wrote, does every single culture have one of these things by a different name? Because I get what she's talking about, because it does seem like a lot of cultures have some of the same kind of beings or cryptid, but they just name it different, or it might look a little different, but the power-wise is the same.
Yes, every would be, a wrong word, but most, yes, most tribes, most cultures, most continents have some type of strange creature or root to the creature, because, hey, we're all under the same sky. So these creatures, they don't know imaginary lines. They don't know maps. They don't know what holds us in. No. So, yes, definitely all traditions and tribes have some kind of roots to these creatures. They vary, each one, though. It could be a cat man, it could be a Bigfoot, it could be a dragon type creature, it could be an elf, something small. It comes in many different shapes and forms, but yes, I'd say most cultures definitely have something beyond.
Well, some of these could be the exact same creature, just different cultures call it different names. You know, I mean, it doesn't. These cryptids don't have to just be on one continent, one spot. They could be spread out, just like how humans spread out throughout the world. Who says they can't? And of course, every country has a different name, or they might draw it differently, because if everybody have seen these up close, then we'll have the exact same drawing. And all that. So guys, this one is probably going to be up Connor's alley, because he's from Ohio. So we're going to be talking about I'm going to ask him about a bridge. It's in Ohio, and does he know the haunted story behind this bridge? So let's get into the paranormal. All right, so Connor, have you ever heard of the bridge in Gratis, Ohio, called the haunted Fudge Road Bridge?
No, I haven't. I love chocolate, and I spent some time at Hershey, PA, but no, not the Fudge Bridge. So do you get fudged up if you mess around out there?
I don't know. It's called the Haunted Fudge Road Bridge, Gratis, Ohio. That's what it's called. So let's check it out then. Let's check it out.
That's it.
The Haunted Fudge Road Bridge. That is Ohio.
Hello, I'm Scott Borders, and welcome to another edition of History in Your Own Backyard. Today we find ourselves in Gratis, Ohio, at the very haunted Fudge Road Bridge. Stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. Built in 1913 by the Central State Bridge Company of Indianapolis, Indiana, the Fudge Road Bridge is one of the longest pinned Pratt pony truss bridges in existence, with a length of 91 feet. It spans Ackerman Creek and was closed due to vehicular traffic in 2012. When the bridge was opened, it was a popular road rally site where people in sports cars would travel down this backcountry road enjoying a rural country drive. However, the bridge also has a dark side. It has been reported that a red-eyed demonic creature inhabits the local woods here and has been known to hide under the bridge waiting for his next meal. Fortunately, we were here during the day, and we didn't stick around long enough to find out if those rumors were true enough. The bridge has been closed for 5 years now and will probably be demolished at some point in the near future. Yet another historic bridge lost, but not forgotten. Thanks for watching another edition of History in Your Own Backyard. This has been Scott Borders from Gratis, Ohio, and the haunted Fudge Road Bridge, saying, remember, travel slowly and stop often.
Yeah, so a creature that lives beneath the bridge, red eye. I mean, could that be mistaken for a Bigfoot or something, or a demon, you think? I mean...
Yeah, I definitely think one of those, or maybe the troll under the bridge, man. But
Troll?
that is very fascinating, and the vibe of that bridge out in the woods, definitely pretty spooky. And I love how his delivery was. You know, you could tell it was cool out. He was just giving you the facts. He didn't have to be all loud and proud. He was just direct, and he had the energy I needed. So it was very cool. Well, next time I go to Southern Ohio, it seems like it's towards Indianapolis, so Southwest Ohio. We'll check out the Fudge Bridge.
Well, and guys, did you hear what he said? Indianapolis. Why? I got a video of haunted locations throughout Indiana. So if you guys are near Indiana, here's a video of a few places that are haunted. So if you're out, it's summertime, you're going to travel, you're going to go out. If you're in this area, well, hopefully some of this is some haunted places you can check out. Here we go.
6:14 on your Wednesday. We are just 4 days away from Halloween, and maybe a lot of you might be still figuring out what your plans are.
If so, if you're looking to maybe take a little road trip, we have some places you can go and experience the paranormal in Indiana.
So our first stop takes us to New Albany at the Culbertson Mansion. It's a massive home there located on Main Street, now a historical site for the state, and offers tours and events throughout the year. But the real scares come in the carriage house just behind the mansion. Over the years, mansion staff and volunteers have reported strange and unusual occurrences. There is a haunted house hosted by the Friends of the Culbertson happening this weekend, and the money raised goes right back into restoring it and the upkeep of the building.
Next, we head north to French Lick, Indiana. There you can find the French Lick Springs Hotel. People have reported seeing the ghosts of the hotel's original owner near the elevators inside. Staff members also report receiving mysterious calls from empty hotel rooms. The vast accounts of paranormal sightings are why Travel and Leisure magazine named this hotel the most haunted place in Indiana.
And finally, our last stop takes us to Evansville and the Willard Library, the home of the Gray Lady. According to the website, the Gray Lady's ghost was first reported in the Willard Library back in the late 1930s by a custodian. The library does offer tours, but they've also set up webcams where you can watch and maybe catch the Gray Lady on camera.
Well, that's kind of cool, guys. There's a cam for the library haunted place, and you know, I'm not going to say you're going to guarantee to catch something. Look at the great cameras, but they have one that's on for you to check out. So if you're in Indiana, I don't know any one of those places because I've only driven through Indiana. I have gone to some truck stops. That's about it, you know. But hey, now I know if I go to Indiana, I know 3 places to check out.
Yeah, I think it's very cool that the news station did that and the library cam, man. How cool is that they could have a live feed going for the ghost hunters? I think more, haunted locations and historic districts and buildings should do that, man. It could be the future.
Hide, right?
We just watch security cameras all day.
Dude, that seriously, that is smart to do. If they put on if a place that's claimed to be haunted, if they put 3-4 cameras on and people watch it all the time, and they actually catch something, you're gonna get more people to go there because that thing will go viral because somebody's been watching the live camera. What do you got to lose? I guarantee there'll be somebody in the background just watching it, fast forwarding it, recording it. That's not a bad idea. So if you guys out there, if any of you got a haunted house, haunted place, put a camera on 24 hours. Let people watch it. You never know. Hey, listen, there's 24 hours meditation music, dog music on YouTube. Do a 24-hour paranormal video, and I don't know, maybe play some music in the background. Hell, why not? You know, check it. Yeah. So, guys, you know what I always say? Always look up, because you never know what's up there. You know, we got this little state next to Washington. I call it Oregon. Some people call it Oregon. I don't like the name Oregon. I like Oregon. Usually people don't know the state calls it Oregon, but people who live in the state in Washington, we call it Oregon. Okay, that's Oregon is the proper name. I just want to say you guys that right now. But Oregon, I got a video that says Oregon's UFO strange sighting in the Northwest. Hey, Oregon gets UFO sightings just as much as anybody else. So here's one of them.
Saucers, hovering discs, unexplainable shapes in the sky. UFOs have long been a part of Oregon's history, and this summer, the sightings really came pouring in.
We were curious about this. Our Cole Miller traveled east to meet someone who spotted something suspicious and sat down with a UFO expert, and Cole has the video that was caught on camera.
All right, guys, we're about to see a UFO expert. I'm curious what qualifies a person to be a UFO expert, but hey, we'll see.
More often than not, when we hear those three words, unidentified flying object, we think about the Southwest, New Mexico, and Roswell. But what about the Northwest? One expert tells me here in Oregon, we have the second most sightings in the United States. The most recent happening right here in the skies above Pendleton.
Okay, there's a white thing up there. It's been there for a long time.
That small dot in a sea of blue, just a speck in the sky, spotted by Virgil Bates Jr.
We looked up, you see this white thing, it's just there. That got our attention.
Began to look a little suspicious.
Yes.
That thing's way up there, huh? That thing, he says, floated above Pendleton, its historic downtown and cowboy statues, for more than an hour this past July. This thing did not go unnoticed. A lot of people in town looked up in the sky and they saw that thing.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool.
In a landscape that looks somewhat extraterrestrial itself.
Real quick, what's interesting is they said about an hour. It was up there about an hour. Now, a lot of times, if it's a helicopter, they got to refuel. And what would they be doing in a small town if it was a helicopter? A drone? Why would a drone be in one area for a whole hour unless the guy's got great patience? I'm just trying to think of the logic of why would something be there for an hour? So that was a cool little mark that he said, one whole hour. That really makes you think, okay, what would be up there for an hour if it wasn't something that we can identify?
With an airbase not far from town, Bates says there was nothing else flying that day.
They're here.
Yeah. His only explanation, whatever that thing was an unidentified flying object, a UFO. Virgil, what do you make of the whole thing?
Well, I think there's other things out there besides, we can't be the only people around, or whatever you want to call us.
We have a huge database of UFO reports.
That's Tom Bowden, a UFO expert of sorts. His coffee table makes that abundantly clear.
I started looking into this subject matter about 1974, 75.
So you've got some experience under your belt.
Yes.
Bowden is the Oregon director for what's known as MUFON. That's the Mutual UFO Network. It's dedicated to studying those sightings and those who report them.
What we do is we investigate the people who say they've seen UFOs. We're looking into their story and trying to understand that person.
The volunteer-based group has 4 investigators here in Oregon, which, as it turns out, ranks incredibly high in sightings. Why do you think it is so many people report seeing UFOs in our state?
Well, the problem with the question why is that there's just no rational explanation for that.
Of course, there's that famous saucer from McMinnville back in the 50s. Before that, something strange over Mount Adams. And this summer, Bowden says was a busy one.
And they've really piled up. Not sure what was going on.
From May 1st to late September, 72 reports in all. 30%, he says, remain unidentified. As for Bowden's most memorable investigation, it was August of 2003 near Gresham High School.
Dark triangular craft was just hovering right there, a few hundred feet above the houses.
He posted flyers just like this one in the neighborhood, and more people came forward having seen something just like that.
Do you believe that the government knows more than it lets on about UFOs, or that there's somebody out there who knows more than we've been told?
It's pretty certain that that parts of the government do have that, do know more than they are letting on.
At 71, Bowden is hopeful that a breakthrough will come while he's still alive. Until then, he'll keep digging, that manual on how to do so in hand. Back out east.
You know, the one thing he did say, you know, parts of the government, and I agree with that. Not the whole government doesn't know all of it. They're not going to share it with every single person who gets elected, because 4 years later they might not be elected. You tell everybody, it's going to leak out even more. So there's probably a secret poll that they would tell inside the government. So it's like a government within the government in a lot of ways. But it's interesting. There, you know, according to their report, Oregon is supposed to be the second most high sightings. I mean, first of all, we don't know technically in reality who has the most sightings, because not everybody reports it. You know, all we know, little Idaho. State of little Idaho might have the most reports that nobody ever reports, but you know, Oregon people, they're great people. They're more open-minded to a lot of states. Trust me, they really are more open-minded, and they're not afraid to report things versus percentage-wise with other states. What I'm saying is, so I like when I hear stories from people from Oregon, because I'm more likely to believe Oregon even more than Washington, because they are a little bit more open about things than we are. But I don't know. I mean, hey, Oregon's got UFOs just like anybody else.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. I love when they always say, "Oh, it's Florida's got the most Sasquatch sightings," and then you hear another, you know, news report, and it's like Ohio or California, and then same thing with, you know, states with their UFO sightings. I love just soaking in all the lists and percentages as we can, for sure. But there are volcanoes in Oregon. You know, Mount Hood is right there, so that definitely might be a alien base or something underneath. There's definitely some kind of connection between the volcanoes and the extraterrestrials and the spaceships. Very, very cool. And there's lots of other missing 401 cases there. Just sacred area altogether, but definitely very weird landscape.
Well, you know, Mount Rainer's in Washington, but Mount Rainier is not that far away from Oregon too. So yeah, there's several volcanoes, and I mean, I'll go out my front yard. I mean, you can see the volcano very well. It almost looks like you can throw a rock at it, but of course you got to take a little drive. But you never know. You never know. Now, this next one is actually from Unidentified S4's channel. It's called the Black Orb Ufo. So let's check out from our good friends from. Let me speed it up a little bit because he does a little intro. Here we go. There we go. There's the dot. The Black Orb UFO.
Interesting.
It's almost like the Oregon one, but instead of white, this one's black.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's hanging out in that one little open spot. Okay, now it's moving. Now it's moving more.
I wonder how the attitude kind of changed. Now it's kind of open, like it could be spaceships, it could be orbs, it's still a UFO. Back in the day, I feel like the craze was just about spaceships, so I wonder how much orb stuff kind of got thrown to the side or just discarded altogether. You know, it's just very interesting. But this thing's whipping around, man.
That's what I mean. Light of day. You can see that right in front of those clouds. I mean, that's a pretty good camera. Video enhance 3 times. Okay. Not a drone. Okay. Yeah, it's going way too fast for a drone, and it says no sound from it, so they heard no sound. One of the things that I've been noticing from Anthony's channel that when he finds some weird objects, he mentions if he hears a sound or not, and that's very important.
Did you see that? How it showed like something in the clouds? It might have been like the spaceship, and it looked like it had eyes. It kind of reminded me of Note.
I moved it back a little bit. Let's see.
It circles the cloud right here to the right.
Oh,
yeah. See that? And see how there's a shadow in there? It looks like a face in the sky, man.
Yeah, that's good. That's a wow. I'm glad you caught that. I mean, I caught the black line he did, but I thought he was trying to get the ship in there. So you got a good eye. It is neat how they had the two little, like it's like two eyes right there, the two little clouds. I mean, that's wicked. But
you can even
above
see
the two little white clouds right there,
yeah,
like an Indian thing.
Yeah, that's some shape right there, man. And that right there just shows you we got our eyes on the orb, the white orb, the black orb. The spaceship's over here, man, you know? So it's amazing. So, you know, when Anthony's in the back, he should have his son and his daughters filming all the other clouds too, because, yeah, they got his attention there, but something else is going on. But, yeah, I love that, man. And Anthony gets his own footage, and then he shares footage from around the world too. So that's what it's all about.
Oh, he just shares it. And guys, here's this is a documentary trailer of a UFO. And I was checking to see if there was like a copyright on it. And I went to one side, there was no copyright on it. But it's called Moment of Contact, official trailer. It's the Roswell in Brazil.
And Eric, when you were first messing with that, and I'm pretty sure it's the same video, it says 1091 pictures at the very beginning. They are the ones that actually just put out the Skunk Ape experiments, and that's the new Stacey Brown documentary that I helped out on. So I'm pretty sure the same people that made this documentary made our documentary. So pretty cool.
Let's check it
Kevin
out.
baking it up.
Let's check it out.
Yep.
1091. Is that the same one?
Yeah, that's the same one.
In 1996, the people of Varginha, Brazil, witnessed a UFO event that would change their lives forever.
Só que ele planava, ia perdendo lentamente a altitude e ia caminhando.
Followed another Roswell, if you will. That is a crashed vehicle that had beings on board.
Mas que eles não poderiam admitir a verdade. A população ia entrar em colapso.
Nada temos a esconder.
Finally, the facts will be revealed.
The Varginha case is considered the most well-kept secret in the military circles of Brazil.
My objective here is to put some clarity on what took place in Varginha, Brazil, January 1996.
Dois seres extraterrestres foram capturados, depois, posteriormente, foram levados para o hospital.
The witnesses are some of the most compelling testimony I've ever heard.
Meu nome é Carlos de Souza.
Meu nome é Cátia Xavier.
Meu nome é Liliane Silva.
Meu nome é Valquíria Silva.
Em 1996, eu vi uma criatura estranha ali.
Action! A lot of people in this town have a little piece of the puzzle.
Naquele local, eu vi o rastro da criatura, o pé.
Foi onde ele falou que o que eu vi era uma coisa sobrenatural.
This year,
Mark Elixerez, he had captured this creature with his bare hands.
Você confirma que o seu irmão estava de serviço naquele dia 20?
Confirmo.
After he captured the creature, he developed this infection that wouldn't go away.
Foi pro CTI de manhã, 7 horas da manhã, 15 para o meio-dia, ele veio a óbito.
this can no longer be covered up.
They might shoot us because we're on the property.
This can't be denied.
Bateram na porta e aí eles falaram para mim:
significar que se qualquer ia sofrer uma punição muito severa.
This was proof.
We pull this off. It'll be the most compelling testimony revealed.
Of contact.
Aqui, ó. Foi aqui.
This is a level of confirmation that only a handful of people on this planet have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about that story, actually. Maybe I should, but I don't. And I'm sure when it comes out, I'm sure you'll be able to rent it on Amazon or somewhere. It doesn't exactly tell you where and how you're going to see it. But I'm thinking Amazon, Apple, you'll be able to rent it when it actually comes out. It says the trailer was released today, so I don't know. Watch, it's a trailer's a year ago. It's already out, but I don't think it's out yet. But, I don't know too much about the Brazil incident. I wish Anthony was in the chat. So, if you've heard of it, because I don't know that story. And, you're mute.
Oh, look at my bad. I must have accidentally clicked it. But yeah, man, I'm super intensely excited for that because Roswell is a cool story, but it gets swept under the rug so much. And they had people die, get sick, capture a creature, multiple witnesses around the city. That's a dream come true. And then, of course, all the foreign footage of UFO encounters is always very fascinating. And then they said it's like their own Roswell. So I think they had impact, and I'm just really excited. And yeah, 1091 Pictures releases them everywhere, so it'll be on Amazon, Vudu, Amazon TV, whatever, everywhere.
And they're the same company as backing Stacey Brown, huh?
Yeah, very cool. But they released Small Town Monsters film recently, so it looks like they're really just trying to put out a lot of paranormal stuff. But yeah, Jack and I were literally just talking yesterday that we're going to aim for 1091 for our next documentary. We're going to say, hey, you guys made a bunch of other documentaries for people. Here comes ours. We're the future of this. But yeah, the Skunk Ape Experiments just got released 2 days ago, and I am credited in it. I am not on screen, sadly, but I helped out behind the scenes on a couple recreation scenes because the one scene we filmed, my buddy John and then my buddy Tristan, they played the two characters because Connor, you guys know who I am. I can't play another guy who you guys know who they are, so it just wouldn't make sense. So we had to get some no-namers, But it was super fun, and I'm really proud of it. But I can't wait till it's my documentary, and then they could all have a little piece of it. But
couple no-namers. It's no biggie, guys. Just a couple no-namers. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, my buddy Tristan, he runs Hidden Relief. He started with a name, but he's took a real big hiatus, so he's a no-namer. And then his buddy Jonathan, who, that boy, he's a nice kid, but man, he almost broke my car because he's so big. I'm like, bro, chill out.
Oh, man, Anthony, you should have came in here about 3 minutes ago because I was mentioning to you or wondering if I just played a trailer called The Moment of Contact, the Roswell of Brazil from 1996 incident. I was curious if that's an incident you've heard of, because I never really heard of that incident. And now I'm excited to see it just to learn some more about it. I mean, that's awesome. Now, this next one, guys, I was trying to think today, Mandela Effect, Matrix, what's a weird phenomenon that's out there? And so this one is not spiritual. It's in Antarctica. It's called the Blood Falls, 100 Wonders, Atlas Obscura, because there's a river flow that actually comes out red like blood. And it's kind of a cool little thing, I think. I thought, hey, maybe I'll just share it. It's what you guys think of it. I think it's kind of fun that maybe some of you didn't know there's a river of blood from Antarctica.
Yeah, you had me at Atlas Obscura. That's one of my main websites I use for research. So it all linked together now.
All right, here we go.
Dry valleys in Antarctica. There is a 5-story tall waterfall that is leaking a blood red substance. It also happens to be home to one of the most alien life forms we have ever discovered. $5 million million years ago, when things were a bit warmer and the sea level was a little higher, a whole bunch of seawater flowed into this part of Antarctica. Later, about 3 million years ago, the ice started to form again and glaciers slid over this pool of seawater. Also in there was all the microbial life that had been living. It's a little like if you took your goldfish bowl, sealed it up, put it in a bag, and left it there for 2 million years. I don't think you'd like what you found when you looked at it again. But due to some fissures in the glacier, some of this trapped pool is able to flow out, and the place where it starts to flow out is Blood Falls. So the waterfall turns out to be blood red for the same reason blood is red. It has tons of iron in it, and when it gets exposed to the air, it turns what is genuinely a blood red color. So, you notice it when you walk by. You're like, white, gray, brown, white, 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 brown, gray, white, white. Oh, blood red. It's a 5-story tall blood red waterfall. The source of Blood Falls is thought to be this brine lake, something that was so salty that it couldn't freeze. That's at least 1,300 feet under the ice and a couple of kilometers away. What's even more amazing is that the microbes that were trapped there, they're definitely still alive. Alive! Jill McCookie, the geomicrobiologist, which is an awesome title to have, published the definitive paper on Blood Falls. When they sampled this red sludge, they found that there were at least 17 different microbes living in it. How they survive turns out to be a pretty complicated answer, and we're not absolutely sure. But it goes something like this. They're trapped in there, so they need to be able to recycle their food source. What they think they do is that there are these sulfides, collections of sulfur, oxygen, and iron. And these microbes go and break them apart, and they eat the sulfur and are able to pull oxygen out of this iron sulfide. And essentially when they do this, the iron fits back in because there's a bunch of free-floating iron in there and just remakes little tasty microbe snacks. It points to both the extreme conditions that microbial life can live under and starts to help us build our tools for finding those conditions on other planets. But I think we can acknowledge that right here on Earth, there is life that is wondrous and weird and more alien than we really could have ever imagined. Subscribe here and watch more videos here. And if you're a geomicrobiologist, I will totally subscribe to your channel. Actually, if you're a biologist in general, I'll probably.
So guys, if you're ever near Antarctica anytime soon, check out the Red River. Check it out. It's kind of, I thought it was kind of cool. I don't know how you guys like that little video or not. I thought it was just kind of cool of the Red River, about the ice over it and how they don't fully 100% understand how the bacteria is surviving it, but they know it has. So if it survives, doesn't it tell you that we don't really know what's everything that's on this planet and what can survive? I mean, I know there's stories, there's stories, movies, if ice melts enough, there could be something underneath that can defrost. I'm not saying those are true, but if bacteria can survive in conditions that they're not supposed to, what else is underneath the ice? It's so interesting.
Yeah, that kind of reminded me of like Prometheus and Interstellar and some of those other movies that kind of show those frozen red rivers on the other worlds. But as you guys know, Earth, everything is Earth we've ever heard of. It's Earth. But I love it, man. And Atlas Obscura is like the coolest website ever. So I challenge everybody, Dina, S4, Brandy, Susan, Flock, Spookum, all you guys, type it in the other tab right now, Atlas Obscura, and it will show you 3 or 4 locations that are closest to you. Go explore those locations. And then I also challenge you to submit your own location, because you could submit cool places to that website and they'll confirm it if it's cool enough. So I have a couple pages that I created and people traveled to it, and it's really cool. So once you can open up the world and show people cool things, then other people are going to flock right to it, man. And it's really cool. Atlas Obscura. Definitely needs a new logo, though. I'm going to talk to them about that, but we'll see.
And then, guys, every day I'm going to pin a new saying, just a new saying. Today's saying is kindness is seeing the best in others when they cannot see it in themselves. Basically, what I mean is be kind to one another. Be kind to everybody that's out there. Because if you're kind to other people, you're going to get the kindness back. So that's the saying for today. Tomorrow I have another saying, just something cool, something good, and I'm going to pin it. So just remember, life is hard. Life could beat you down. It's getting close to the end of the week. We know life is so hard, but just remember, if you're kind, you will get twofold kind back. I hope you guys do. I hope you guys do. And guys, keep looking up, keep looking forward, keep your ears open, get your eyes open, because we are all on this journey to the unknown. We're all going to expect, Beyond that, I think you're off tomorrow, Connor. Are you going off to doing some research for tomorrow on the weekend? Are you on one of your research things?
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'm going to be meeting up with Mitch, and then Saturday, Jack, who made the Void Cat, is rounding up this huge group of actors and creators. We're meeting up on the Georgia-Florida line, and we're going to hopefully just film a short movie just in the day, and just go from there. But I'm just super excited just to rendezvous and experiment. I have a couple podcasts coming up soon. I know I'm going to be on Akashi Chris's show, Mind Forked, August 14th. So it's not this Sunday, but next Sunday. I'm super excited about that. Now I'm going to be on a couple other. I'm going to be on Spaced Out Radio again in a couple weeks with Dave Scott.
Cool.
I'm super pumped for that.
Are you with David or another person?
Yeah, I'm with David. So I'm the show, the main show. But I love Jessica. I love Big Willie. I love the Afternight Man. But that with Dave is a whole different energy. You get the live show, and then you get the international radio. I'm just super excited. And Dave Scott is definitely one of my heroes, or just powerful, positive companions in this world, in this community. And he definitely has positive vibes, and he's been in documentaries, so it's really cool just to cross circles with him. And I'm just really pumped because Spaced Out Radio is definitely cool fam. But yeah, I got tons of stuff planned. My birthday is at the end of the month. I'm going skydiving. I might actually take myself to New Orleans too and do a little. I need like a retreat. I need to get away I need to get out of my own way for a little bit too, and need that for sure. But I'm super pumped.
You do need it in life. You do need
Today
it.
was the first day that I woke up feeling good ever since my tick bite. So I hope I'm on to better things. I'm really excited. I'm feeling good. No more headaches. Hopefully I can get back to it. I'm going to see Bullet Train tonight.
For me, it's going to be a while. I'm going to be on Nona Boss on August 20th. So I know I'm scheduled on the 20th on Nona Boss's channel. So I know that's a little ways, but, 15 days, 16 days, it'd be like tomorrow.
Hey, I can't wait. Nona Boss and Matt, Supernatural Spectrum, they had an awesome show recently, and I'm just really pumped for the future of it. And their show actually kind of reminded me of ours. So we have laid a path for people, and I want as many shows like ours out there as possible for sure. But man, I'm just soaking up the vibes. I'm really loving it. I'm laughing right now because some guy, I begin these messages on Facebook, and I get bombarded with messages. So if I can even respond, like I want it to go somewhere, and it's like, oh, surviving, how you been? And then they go, oh, pretty good, extremely. Have you heard of the FGMC? And it's always like this weird group that it's like, oh, they're gonna send you money, And I just said, have you heard of the FOH? And FOH means fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. And it's just funny. Like, you kind of just got to, if they're trolling or if they're hacked or something, sometimes you just got to give them a piece of their own medicine. But I don't know. It's just stupid. But I thought it was funny.
Well, remember I said that yesterday when the guy Curtis sent me an email when it said Foundation. The first thing I was thinking of, all right, what are they selling? What game they're going to create? I didn't know it was a real person at first until I researched, like, oh shit, okay, he's a real person who wants to come on the show. But you're right, you don't know. Right. You're like, and you get so many of those emails. You're thinking everybody's like that, And then you're like, oh, this is a real one.
I know, and I like, you know, I reached back to them because I think we're about to have like a, you know, A-B conversation, and then they hit me with that crap, and I'm like, oh, I wasted my time. I was trying to, it's more than time. I wasted my, like, I came back to Earth. I came back to my human body just to communicate with that person, and they weren't even a human. They were a bot. So that's where it's like, you know, even for me to come back to Facebook sometimes, even for us to come to this show, you know, it's like we have to come back from where we were, you know. Hey, it's positivity, though. You got, like you said, you know, be kind, because you never know what's going to happen in this world.
Be kind. Beyond that, everybody, have a great day, and I'll see a lot of you back tomorrow.